Now we're ready to add a roof to our building. And in order to be able to do that, we're going to need to come underneath our Home tab up here and then select on Roof. And it brings up the roof command. Now, this roof is a wood rafter, 8-inch thick roof. You can see there in the preview that it had multiple layers of materials. If I select on Edit Type and then Edit next to the Structure button here, you'll see each layer of material, 1/4 inch, 5/8 of an inch, 7.5 inches, that make up this roof. If you end up having trusses delivered to the site, you might have slightly different dimensions here. And depending on your part of the country, 7.5 inches might not be big enough. You might need to beef this up if you live in Denver, if you're living in northern areas that have a lot of snow load, because that's a lot of weight to be bringing down on your roof, and that might need to get bulked up just a little bit. Go ahead and come down here. I'm going to click on OK to get out of this. I'm going to click on OK to this. But in general, this is a fairly typical residential style of roof. Make sure that your base level is this top, which is going to be your top of plate. The plates are those boards that go across the top of your walls on the exterior of your building, and they're going to support the load of your roof up above. You also have your base offset right here, and that kind of affects how the roof is going to be setting on that part of the building. In this case, this -8 inches works out fine for me, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to worry too much about this overhang right now. People that are used to doing roofs inside of Revit probably know that you can come over here to the Pick Walls tool, select here, and this overhang will automatically put in a 2-foot overhang for you as you're coming around. But one of the things I found with this particular house is it doesn't always seem to put the roof down exactly where I like it to be at, so it's supported by the walls and the location that I really want it to be at. So as a result of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit longer route in order to make sure that the roof works out and is perfect the first time around. And in order to accomplish that, to make sure that the roof works, I'm going to come up here and pick on the Line tool, and I'm going to zoom in on this corner of the building. I'm going to click once, and I'm just going to come out 2 feet in this direction. Next, I'm going to draw a line 2 feet up. Now, this point right here is going to be my base point for everywhere else I'm going to be drawing the rest of this main body of our roof. From here, I need to come over, and the dimension here is going to be 40 feet, 2 inches going directly to the left. You can see how from here to here, it's going to be covering the building pretty well. Next, draw a line going straight down, and that line's going to need to be 46 feet, 4 inches down. So 46 feet, 4 inches. Of course, make sure that line is straight. If it's a little bit of an angle, it's going to give you a rather odd-shaped roof. So make sure that you have everything going at 90-degree angles from here on out. We will end up adding the actual pitch to this roof here in just a moment. Go ahead and come back over to the side again. In this case, come over 40 feet, 2 inches. Come straight up. And you can actually cover this line up. We're going to delete it here in just a moment anyway. It's just giving us a warning message saying that this line, that little line right there, is covered up by this big line. And that's okay. Go ahead and hit escape a couple times on your keyboard just to basically get out of most of the command. Then window around these 2 lines and hit the delete key in order to get rid of that extra line work that you don't need. Now, before we finish this roof, right now we have a flat roof. We need to have a slope to it. So in order to do that, there's really a couple ways, but I like selecting on the outside lines and coming up here and defining the slope. And here we have slope, and it says 912. Change this to be a 412 slope. And do the same thing over on the other side. In this case, it's over on the left side of your roof. So define the slope and change this to be a 412 slope for your roof. Now, this has covered up a good portion of our porch as well as most of our building. We're going to need to do a secondary roof that's going to come out like this, come across, and it's going to go underneath this roof surface and tie into this wall back here and come back around very shortly here after we finish creating this roof. So once you get to this point, come up here, click on the big green check mark, and check out the roof that you have up to this point. You can spin it around. You can see that you have a nice gable roof here, covers most of the building. But we obviously have a few wind and drainage issues going on in here with these great big openings. So if we want to be able to clear those sorts of things up, the trick to that is to select on one or multiple walls, such as this. And you can do that by just clicking and holding down your control key at the same time. Whenever you select on a wall, you'll end up getting this option. It's called Attach Top Base. Go ahead and click on that. And then the question it's going to be asking is, do you want to attach the top of the wall or the bottom of the wall to the object you're getting ready to click? In this case, obviously, we want to attach the top of our wall to the roof. So pick on the roof next. And you can see how it's automatically brought all those walls that are currently underneath that roof all the way on up to attach themselves to the right location. You'll also need to do that if you have any other smaller walls, say this side little brick wall right here. It also, even though it's a different material, has attached top base associated with it, and then it's just a matter of attaching it to this roof. Now, we will be needing to draw in a second roof, and when we draw in that second roof, then we'll come in and clean up the rest of these conditions that we're seeing here in our model.